Welcome to Oklahoma Music Legends. I'm your host, Tommy Henshaw. I've heard it said if an entertainer is quickly recognized by their first name, you know they've reached the top. Oklahoma has several who have hit this type of notoriety, but none are more recognizable than the lady from McAllister, Oklahoma. We're talking about Reba and the singing McEntires. Stand by for the story. There are few in country music who actually know firsthand about real country lifestyle. This is not so when you talk about Reba McEntire and her family. They lived it every day. During her childhood, she and her siblings spent their early years working the land, raising cattle, riding horses, doing chores, and traveling with their father to rodeos and going to school. Reba, brother Pake, and sister Susie McEntire worked the family ranch, doing all the chores, living the life so many today just sing about. By the way, I've heard it said that her Oklahoma accent has somehow got to be put on. Let me just set the record straight. Her Oklahoma accent is just as authentic as mine. Born Reba Nell McEntire in March of 1955 to Jacqueline and Clark McEntire, her father and grandfather were both champion steer ropers. Her father, Clark, was a world champion steer roper 3 times in 1957, 58, and 1961. Reba grew up on a 7,000-acre working cattle ranch in Chalky, Oklahoma, a small community northeast of Atoka, Oklahoma. According to the Oklahoma Music Guide, written by Hugh Foley, Reba could brand a steer, vaccinate a cow, and even castrate a young bull. Later, this skill probably came in handy when it came to keeping her band in line. Just saying. Reba has 3 siblings: an older sister, Alice, a younger brother, Pake, and sister Susie. Pake and sister Susie would go on to have significant musical country music and country Christian music careers of their own, which we will explore later in this story. Their mother, Jacqueline, was a gifted singer herself with dreams of having a country music career. But with family obligations, she turned to having a career in teaching. She taught elementary school and was the school secretary. She taught her children how to sing 4-part harmony in order to maintain order in the car during the long rides to rodeos where their father would compete. Reba competed in rodeos herself as a barrel racer. Pake, Susie, and Reba began a group who would sing and perform at rodeos and school functions. They called themselves the Singing McEntires. Later, their family group dissolved and Reba kept performing as a solo act. Reba sang throughout school, fully intending to follow her mother into teaching after graduation from Southeastern State University, which is located in Durant, Oklahoma. While attending Southeastern, her major was education and her minor was in music. While attending Southeastern State, she was a member of a singing group known as the Corvettes. In 1974, Reba was invited to sing the national anthem at the National Finals Rodeo, which was held that year in Oklahoma City and was televised on ABC's Wide World of Sports. Her rendition of the anthem so impressed veteran cowboy and western music performer Red Steagall that he invited Reba to appear with him at a rodeo event for Justin Boots, which she accepted. Steagall was pleasantly surprised by her performance and invited her to Nashville to make a demo recording. First rejected by ABC Records, the folks that know all about these things, they just didn't feel they needed another girl singer. Well, as we all know, Reba is not just another female singer. Reba was shopped around to Mercury Records where they signed her in 1975. Her first recording session, she sang her rendition of the 1950s song Invitation to the Blues, by the way, which was written by Oklahoman Roger Miller, episode number 10, and country music legend Ray Price. In an interview, Reba said the very first time she ever heard one of her songs being played on the radio was when Billy Parker, episode number 25, played it on KVOO radio, broadcasting out of Tulsa. Reba's very first song to ever chart just barely got into the top 100, called I Don't Want to Be a One-Night Stand. Since I Don't Want to Be a One Night Stand was released, Reba has become the biggest selling female artist of all time, selling over 55 million albums. She's had 33 Billboard #1 country songs, and she was continuously on the Billboard charts for 35 years, from 1976 through 2011. In 2001, Reba appeared on Broadway in Annie Get Your Gun, and in South Pacific in 2005. She's acted in 11 Hollywood films. She's a successful author, publishing her autobiography, Reba, in 1995. Let's not forget her syndicated television show, aptly named Reba. This is the end of Reba McEntire and the Singing McEntires, Chapter 1. Stand by for Chapter 2.